Welcome to today's discussion. I'm Diane Payne, an adult program specialist with Gwinnett County Public Library. In an effort to share valuable information with the community, we are presenting this discussion with Kristi Royston, the Election Supervisor of Gwinnett County Voter Registrations and Elections. She will be discussing the method of absentee voting and addressing concerns that are commonly asked. Kristi Royston has over 20 years of voter registration and elections experience. She has served in Gwinnett County since January 2010, starting as the Assistant Election Supervisor, and then promoted in September 2019 to her current position, the Elections Supervisor. Prior to working with Gwinnett County, Kristi was the Elections Supervisor in Barrow County. She also worked in the Athens-Clarke County Elections and Registration Office, as well as the State Elections Division under Secretary of State Louis Massey. She is a University of Georgia graduate with a degree in journalism, emphasis in advertising. Thank you for joining us today, Kristi.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to share information about the voting process. Specifically today, we'll talk a little bit about the upcoming June 9th presidential preference primary, general primary, and nonpartisan election. We don't normally have the primary and nonpartisan election in June. It is a result of postponements of previous primary dates. The presidential preference primary was initially set to be held on March the 24th, and its first postponement was moved to May the 19th to be held in conjunction with the local and state primary. But as the concerns with COVID-19 continued, the Secretary of State's office chose to postpone again, and now both primaries and the nonpartisan election will be held on June the 9th. So it's different for us here in the elections office. We are definitely learning something new every day and a new way to handle unforeseen circumstances, and just like everyone else dealing with things through this very unusual time. I'll talk with you a little bit about your options for how to vote in this June primary and election, but also for any primary or election. These things are in place. Your options to vote are either by mail or in person. If you choose to vote in person, you can either do that through advance voting, which is basically you choose to vote in person prior to Election Day. You can also choose to vote in person on Election Day. A few differences in those in-person options are that during advance voting, you can go and vote in any of the established locations. You are not assigned an advance voting location. You can choose to go to the one that is most convenient for you. You can check the Gwinnett County location and schedules on our county website. But for this upcoming June 9th date, we did have to make a change to what our normal schedule is and what our normal locations are, just considering poll official staffing as well as social distancing and how we were going to factor that into our processes. But beginning on Monday, May the 18th, Gwinnett County voters will be able to advance vote at either the elections office located on Grayson Highway in Lawrenceville, or at the Gwinnett County Fairgrounds that has a Sugarloaf address, but we're going to be using the Davis Road entrance for voters. So for May 18th through June 5th, you can vote at the elections office and or the fairgrounds. Starting on May the 30th, we will be adding 4 other locations. That will be Bogan Park, George Pierce Park, Lenore Park Gym, and Lucky Shoals Park. That will be May 30th through June 5th. So the first 2 weeks, 2 locations. The last week, a total of 6 locations. Again, you can choose to go to any of those. But if you wait and go on election day, you are assigned a specific polling location that you should go to in order to receive your correct ballot, and make sure that you're getting your correct districts. If you go to if you chose to go to an unassigned polling location, you would not be receiving your correct and assigned ballot. So on election day, you want to make sure that you are going to your assigned location in order to get your correct ballot. So that's how you can vote in person. Again, election day polling locations, they're open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So you want to make sure that you go within that time frame. So that's your in-person options. Your by mail option is to vote by mail. We call it now absentee or advance by mail. Absentee, years ago it was that you could only vote by mail if you were going to be out of town. But that changed a while ago, and now it's just another option and another way to vote. With us having the COVID-19 situation now and social distancing issues and poll official staffing issues, the Secretary of State's office did a mailer, an initiative to all active voters, and mailed an absentee by mail application that a person could sign, complete a couple of spaces, sign it, and mail it back in to us. So we've seen a huge participation with that, which we're very happy to see the interest from voters for that. But I'll explain to you the by mail process. Basically, a voter needs to apply to receive a by mail ballot. That application includes your name, your address, if you have a different mailing address, your date of birth, and your signature. The reason for the signature is for us to match the signature on the application to the signature that we have on your voter registration record, to make sure who's requesting the ballot is actually the voter on file and on record. When we receive that application, our office then issues the ballot to the voter. The ballot is mailed to the voter, and when they receive it, they will vote the ballot. Now, if you're a Gwinnett County voter, we are the only county in the state of Georgia that includes a second language on our ballots. So you will see both English and Spanish on your ballot. That makes our ballot longer. So your ballot will be 2 pages. So you want to make sure it's 2 pages front and back. So make sure you go through that and vote it. The way that you vote, you don't make an X mark. You don't make a check mark. You bubble in the oval by your selections and by your choice. What you have then is you fold the ballot after you've completed it, and this set of ballots for this election, there normally is a white inner envelope that you would put your ballot into the envelope and then put it in the oath envelope and mail it. A change was made at the state level this time and for this election, and there is now a sleeve, a security sleeve instead of the inner envelope. Gonna be honest with you, that sleeve looks just like a piece of paper with the words on it, but you will just take your ballot, put it into the piece of paper that says security sleeve, or I'm not sure of the wording, so whatever it says to place it. One thing though, when the state made the change to the security sleeve, they neglected to update the instructions that still say inner envelope. So we've had some voters that have been confused about, but it says envelope and I don't have an envelope. So place the ballot in the sleeve, then put it in the oath envelope. The oath envelope must be signed. So make sure that you sign the oath and that you return the ballot back to us. That signature comes into play again. We check that again against the signature that's on file. and we would then check it and accept it if it matches. If for some reason the ballot, I'm sorry, the signature on the oath doesn't match the ballot, I'm sorry, got my words crossed up. If the signature happens not to match the signature on file, we would send a cure affidavit so that the individual could cure any signature related issues if need be. But if it matches, it's automatically accepted. So when we receive the ballot back in, we accept it into the system and we drop it in the ballot vault, and it stays there until we start scanning ballots on election day. So those are your options of how to vote. In addition to how to vote, we are always looking for poll officials. The individuals that we recruit and train and staff our polling locations with are always in need. So you can apply for that job at GwinnettCountyJobs.com.
Thank you, Kristi. That's a lot of information. I think that I'm glad you explained about the sleeve, because I think people want to be very precise when they vote so that their vote counts. And it's nice to know that when we put it in the sleeve, we're really putting it into the envelope, so to speak. It's also important about the signature, because I know that sometimes I sign my name. Well, obviously when I'm getting a credit card, it's just a little scribble. So it's good that you pointed out how important it is to make the signatures match with what is on file. I'm glad that you check all of those. That's really good to hear. Sounds like it's not as difficult as it seems like before you've done it. I've never done it before, but it sounds like it's fairly easy and straightforward. So I hope that that is very helpful this year and that we have a great turnout for voting. I want to thank you for giving us all this information today and for sharing this with us. And I just want to take another minute to remind everyone that the library has a lot of free online services available during this time. So you can go and see what you're watching right now and other experts presenting information that is valuable to everyone. We also have author events that are live, virtual events, and we have Summer Reading Club this year, which is totally online and available to everyone of every age. So thank you for joining us today. And don't forget to check our website, GwinnettPL.org, as well as the county website. I think it was GwinnettCounty.com. And thanks for watching.
If I could, just a moment, it is actually GwinnettCounty.org.
Oh, okay.
So I want to make sure I did that. And then I also just wanted to take a chance to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share information with anyone who is interested in the voting process. So thank